Wanted to show you guys some of my pictures from Facebook, and yes, you guys get to see my Facebook. But this is a how should I put this? A room shot from my hotel. I was staying at the Hilton Atlanta. This is a bonus video I'm gonna do for you guys, so you get to see what passion was like for me and why I enjoy going so often. And Atlanta is a pretty big city. It was like super foggy that first day. I remember that quite well. It was actually raining the whole time, which I mentioned in my second Universal video I just posted today. And I felt like giving you guys a bonus video to talk about passion a little bit more because I felt like I could have talked about a lot more in my last video. And I had some weird people giving me dirty looks earlier because I was standing over by Fear Factor Live just talking to a camera. It was dumb looking, but you know how that is. There was a gym over the across the street from where we were, and for whatever reason, my roommates and I were looking at this somewhere around there, one of these specific windows, and we were checking out the people working out. I don't know why that was like super creepy, and we're not gay at all, so I think we're just being immature because we were out in Atlanta. We're gonna have a good time. We're hanging out with all our friends, and these were guys I hadn't seen in a long time, so I was just having a good time. I think that's the Marriott, if I'm correct. I'm not 100% sure, but that's where I was getting all my Wi-Fi from. It's a pretty big hotel. I mean, pretty big hotel. I hope you guys really enjoy this video. It's so cool to be able to share these pictures of you guys. It's one of the side shots of the hotel. You can see some all the buildings off in the distance. And of course, there's another side shot of the hotel. And there's some more clouds off in the distance. It's a very smoggy area. And of course, it was raining and overcast. There's some big buildings over there as well. This picture looks a lot like the first one I already showed. And you can see how wet the roads are. I'm going to have to edit this because my camera's shaking a whole bunch. But, it's whatever. You guys probably don't recognize this place. I'll be able to show you some daytime pictures. This was taken around 7 o'clock at night. This is the Georgia Dome, as you can see right there. It is a gigantic building. This building will be coming down this year. How unfortunate is that? The one sad part about 2017, unfortunately. The one sad part. Got a side shot right there. That's the right side of the football stadium. This is where the Atlanta Falcons play. And they will be playing somewhere else. There's a gigantic building I will be showing later on. I'll show you their future building. Hopefully it will be done by next year, 2018. And I had taken a left side picture of the stadium. Fortunately, it was blurry, so I deleted it. So this is about as much as you're going to see of it. That's the top of the dome. I really, really like the style of the dome. It's like super cool. It's I'm gonna try making this desktop computer full screen in a second because I think I could show some better pictures if I did. This is not gonna really turn out great. That's supposed to be Louis Giglio. I'm gonna try zooming in a bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that is Louis Giglio. He is the creator of Passion, and he started the event back in 1997. Him and his wife Shelley. And this has been going on for about 20 years now, and they did a lot of cool stuff, even giving us a Bible, and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And this Bible is not cheap. It was like $45, give or take a few bucks. And I haven't even shown my mom my Bible yet. How pathetic is that? There's a whole bunch of people waiting in line to get into the Georgia Dome. This is the outside of it. I'm not even sure why there is Xfinity written on the building. I was surprised that the dome had free Wi-Fi at this point. Even the building not too far from it has free Wi-Fi. And don't worry, I still have more pictures. I don't go to these kind of events without taking pictures. We were in the upper D gate. There is about 4 gates. This building was massive. So, of course, it wasn't easy to get around. I actually walked around the entire Georgia Dome by accident one day because I couldn't even find my group at all. I'm like, what section are they in? They're in 236, and for whatever reason, I went to 233 by mistake. And it's overwhelming being in there, I tell you. That is the new football stadium for the Atlanta Falcons. This is about the best picture I have, but you can already see that it's going to be a lot bigger. And it's only half done right now. I mean, they don't have a whole lot right now. That is Dr. John Piper. I've heard him once before. He can be a little monotone and he can drone on a bit. I think he's a great pastor. I mean, to be honest, but I've heard better. But yeah, I honestly enjoyed listening to a sermon again. I did get more out of it this time than I did the last time. It does help being 23 versus 21 or so. You always get a little more mature every year. This just kind of shows you how massive the stadium is again. This is during the daytime. There's so many people in here. I don't even know what time this was. It was probably around lunchtime. I probably took this around the same time we were all eating lunch. They fed 55,000 people. I wish I had kept the video when we were doing, or everybody had their phones out. It was the coolest thing in the world I had ever seen. It's hard to believe that this many college students would attend this event. I got a close-up at this point. You can still kind of see how many people are there. And those people down below are in the praise pits. That's what Chris Tallman always called it anyway. If you don't know who he is, he's a famous contemporary Christian artist. That is Beth Moore. She is a famous Christian book author. My mom has some of her books. I don't really know a whole lot about her, but her sermon was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. She looks a lot older than she does in the magazines. That's the reason why I don't do magazines. It's 50 to 75% fake, and you guys are going to probably hate me for saying that, and that's just your opinion if you hate me on that. Louis Giglio allowed us to talk to an astronaut in the International Space Station. No, that is not green screen. That is an actual astronaut we are talking to via Skype in the International Space Station. That was super cool. Yes, all 55,000 of us got to talk to him, but kind of. Well, mostly listen to him. I doubt you guys are going to recognize this guy. This is Francis Chan, and he is a very famous Christian speaker and author. He has written the book, trying to remember here. He has written the book Crazy Love, and I honestly absolutely loved his book. Because I've read it, but not as much as my uncle, who lives out in Ontario, Canada. And hopefully I'll get to do some video footage up there. And be ready for Sunday when I talk about me being a dual citizen. And I will be sharing some of my pictures, hopefully, as I'm probably going to videotape it that night. I'm not going to share a whole bunch because it'll take way too long. But this guy came out right away and he was like, that was cool, we got to talk to an astronaut, but not as cool as talking to the creator of the astronaut, God. And he said, I don't care what you guys think, because only talking to God is the best, and that's all there is to it. I mean, this guy is passionate about his faith, and that's why I respect him so much. This was taken that afternoon. That is the CNN Center. Yes, it is in Atlanta, Georgia, right next to the Georgia World Congress Center, which is where a lot of our community groups were. Now, how cool is that? And off right next to it is the Taco Mac. I got to try their food that evening, and it was really good. Tuesday was probably our warmest day, even though it did get a little chilly later on, as Monday was cold, Tuesday was slightly cool, and Wednesday was cold and windy. It's hard to tell what this building is. This is the Phillips Arena. That is where the Atlanta Hawks play, and that is where we held Passion 2 years ago. I wish I had better pictures than that. And of course, Louis Giglio preached to us that night. He had to have his opportunity to preach. And he gave us a really powerful message on the cross. And he delivered 3 main points. I'm not going to go into it, but it definitely got me intrigued, and it gave me something to talk about with my family group that night. And if you're wondering what community groups is, it's basically when they stick you into a giant room with thousands of other college students, and you have to pick a random group of people you don't even know, get to know them for about 10 minutes or so, and then you randomly find another group of people that you don't even know. And you're like, come on, man, you just had us sit down with this group of people that I didn't even know, and now you're making me do it again. But this is all because of this man right there. I had to take some night pictures too. You probably recognize that building. I just showed it a few slides ago. That is the CNN Center again. And look at all the people outside, because we're all going to the Georgia World Congress Center for community groups, because I took it that night while we were on our way to community groups. I had just left the session, so I had to take a picture of the CNN Center that night, and I have some other pictures too. I know it's a little blurry, but you can see some of the skyscrapers off in the distance and maybe a hotel or two. And look at all the college students. Once again, oh my goodness. It was just overwhelming. It was so stinking overwhelming. Another not so great picture. Still on our way over to community groups. We're still over by the Georgia World Congress Center. The Georgia World Congress Center is ginormous. There's 3 buildings all in one gigantic building, in case you guys didn't know. There's a building off in the distance, as you can see over there, the yellow one. I'm going to try putting my finger in right there. Yeah. But I can't really tell what it is, not even later on. I never figured out what it was, but it looks so cool. About the same as earlier. Nothing exciting. Nothing to write home about anyway. Now, you guys might like this. This is night shots from my hotel room. You already got to see the daytime shots? You thought those were cool? These are nighttime shots from my hotel room. Come on, you guys have to admit that. Yeah, you guys have to admit that was cool. Sorry about that. I thought that it wasn't recording. You can see in the reflection my roommates. That is my roommate David Mestra. He just got married today. I think that was me. And that's my friend Chris. And then there's 2 female friends of mine. One of them is this guy's wife. I hope they don't see this later, get upset with me, because their reflection was in the window. But look at all the pretty lights. The land is just so beautiful at night. It just really is. There is the Marriott again, and there's some other skyscrapers and giant buildings in the background. And oh my goodness, I honestly would love to live in a giant city like this, in a way, because I absolutely love just standing there and just looking at all these beautiful lights. And at the same time, I do love quiet country life, but sometimes even that gets annoying after a while. That is a selfie I took of myself in the Georgia Dome on the last day. And as you can see, it's pretty empty. You can see the praise pits below. But, I mean, look at the size of that place. It's just ginormous. It is absolutely ginormous. And there's a picture without me in it. That is my new Facebook cover, by the way. And that last picture was not my profile picture, but is going to be next. And you can see the Atlanta Falcons pictures in the background. I'm going to try zooming in a bit. It's hard to tell exactly what they say, because I'm so sticking far away. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. My brother's cat just jumped up on the computer while I was trying to film this. We were getting near the end. I took a few more pictures from on the last day. That's the Passion Band and a few other Christian artists, and all of these people had their hands up in the air. It was such a beautiful picture. And it's so hard to believe how many people are there. I still cannot get over all the amount of people that were at this event. This was our final speaker for the evening, or the morning. I'm so sorry, because it was Wednesday morning. That was Levi Lusko. I don't know a whole lot about him, but he was a really good preacher, and he really hit it home, and I'm really glad that he topped off the event. I actually had to zoom in for this picture, because it it turned out great, and I was actually sitting a lot closer, as you could see in that one picture of me in it. You guys recognize this place? If not, I would be kind of depressed. What is Georgia most famous for, besides cotton? You guessed it, Coca-Cola. That is the Coca-Cola factory. It is right there in Atlanta, Georgia. Isn't that cool? I'm sure you guys probably remember that building from that one nighttime picture I showed you guys earlier when I was over by the Georgia World Congress Center. That's it. And off in the distance over there, that is the AT&T building. I'm not exactly sure if it's like headquarters or not, but it's whatever. And I didn't get a whole lot of pictures, and you're probably thinking, what in the world is that? And also, why am I standing the way I am? It looks ridiculous. This door was a side door in the one of the original Chick-fil-A's in Murrah, Georgia, just 10 minutes south of Atlanta, Georgia, right off of I-75. This was one of the first Chick-fil-A's that ever opened, and it was like all 1950s style. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is all 37 pictures that I showed. It just took a while because I wanted to explain every single one and let you guys like really enjoy it. And I'm really excited about talking about me being a dual citizen on Sunday. And let me know if I can make any improvements or if you have any suggestions for my videos. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And now it's time to pay the price.